Yo, what's up, guys? Non-Drew here. Trying out a little bit of a different intro. Anyway, in the previous video that I uploaded, which was dragon manipulation or something along those lines, I'm still working on a title for the video at time of this recording. I told you guys I was going to go ahead and record and show you guys the deck list and explain the deck list. I couldn't put it all into one video because I don't know what was going on with my recorder, but my recorder refused to let me show anything longer than about 34 or 35 minutes. Anyway, this is the deck list. I'm just going to go ahead and talk about everything all at once. I guess I'll make the discussion a little bit longer just because I did not have the luxury to do that because I was trying to compress 3 different games and a discussion onto one, and unfortunately I'm a little bit long-winded sometimes, so I just was not able to do that. Alright, so 3 Blazing Breath. Blazing Breath is pretty staple right now. I really like it at 3, just because there's a lot of shit you need to clear right now. Like, for example, Goblin Leader, ran assorted 2-drops, and just having a 2 damage ping is nice, just because, well, like it just helps you kind of stem the bleeding a little bit. 2 Lyrial. So I play 2 Lyrial. You could play 3. However, I only like playing 2 just because at first I did play 3 just because, well, 3 gives you consistency. However, as I began to play more and more, I realized that having only 2 is fine just because Lyrial doesn't have good scaling. Neither do her competitors in that of Mushisu and Unica. Like, you can argue that, yeah, Unica can heal. However, the healing is only relevant early in the game. However, in the mid game, I like Lyrial for her ability to go ahead and bust up boards. Like, as a whole, you generally want to have reactive answers rather than reactive questions. I'll be talking about this as I go through the deck. But essentially, a reactive answer is, for example, say stuff like, alright, like for example, say your opponent develops a board. They're essentially asking a question: how are you going to deal with that board? Now, if you play a reactive question is something like, say, wards or pseudo wards. Like, for example, if I played like Sybil into a board, or if I played Rahab into a board, that's a reactive question because yes, I can use an Evo and I can get some mileage out of that, and I can try to force you to go to give me like a +4 or +2 or some shit like that. However, in the event where you can like muscle through, then I'm suddenly in a really bad spot because suddenly I'm allowing you to make the trades that you want to make that are most favorable for you. Whereas if I had a reactive answer, such as say Themis or say Breath of Salamander or something like that, then suddenly I take that option away from you altogether. And generally right now, with how trade focused the metagame is, you cannot allow your opponent to be able to dictate trades. You have to take that away from them. 1 Dragon Summoner. Part of why I have 1 Dragon Summoner is honestly because it's animated. It's my only animated copy, so that's part of why I have one. The other actual reason is because I was really happy that Dragon got a maid tutor, the Dragon got a maid leader tutor this expansion, or a maid leader, a reinforcement of the army, whatever you want to call it, but just a tutor. Now, as you may notice with Dragon decks, we don't run that many actual Dragoncraft followers. The only followers that we commonly play are Oro, Rahab, Ayala, Sybil, and Dragoon Scyther, although this list does not have Dragoon Scyther. Now, if you notice from my card count, I have exactly 10 Dragoncraft followers, and then 6 of these give me ramp. So anytime that I play the Dragon Summoner, because I only have 1 copy of her, anytime that I play her, there's a 60% chance of her giving me a ramp. That's nice. If she gives me Rahab, that's not the worst thing. That's not the best thing either, because he is a ward in a pinch, and wards are pretty cool because they protect your face. And then lastly, it can give me Oro, and that's part of why I only have one copy of Oro in this deck, because I needed to fit in space. However, a lot of times I get into games where I have like double Oro in my hand. Double Oro is not something that you want to have in hand, like never ever. Like even versus Haven, you would think that double Aura like is like the shit because they're gonna banish it, right? Well, no, just because like all of the win cons that Haven have kind of just ignore Aura. Like for example, with Seraph, like if they're at a high enough HP, you can't actually kill them with just the Aura. I mean, you can kind of sort of threaten it, but you can't actually do it. Versus Aegis, if they have an Evo when the Aegis comes down and you're nowhere close to killing them, the Aegis guarantees that you never actually kill them after that. And versus Storm Aegis, again, same thing, but this time a little bit different. This time they put you under enough pressure that at most times when we play the Oro, the Oro doesn't actually do that much to their board. Like it'll maybe clear like 2 things and then just get banished. But yeah, that's probably why I'm only playing one Oro. Because make no mistake, even though I only have one Oro in here, it's still a very, very good card, and it's still a card that can single-handedly body some decks. Like for example, Swordcraft, it just straight up just like 1v1 Swordcraft as a whole, and that kind of value can't be underestimated. 3 Rahab versus 2 Tina. Alright, so in a previous video the other day, I had exactly one Rahab in it. I think I had more Tina than I had Rahab. That was not a mistake. Let me go ahead and repeat that. That was not a mistake. I did that on purpose. The reason why I did that on purpose is because, as a whole, you want to be able to have reactive answers right now, just because Rahab is not as good as he used to be. He's still very, very good, but he's not as good as he used to be. But the reason why he's not as good as he used to be is not like Oro in the sense that versus the classes that you would like to play him in, he doesn't actually do anything. No, the reason why he's not as good as he used to be is because right now the metagame is very, very trade focused, and you don't want to let them dictate trades, because right now if you try to play Oro into say like Goblin Leader or something like that, then what's going to happen is that they're going to play Alice, and then they're going to like value trade into your they're just going to value trade into your Rahab, kill it for free, and suddenly your Rahab that was going to get you a 3-for-1, it suddenly gets you a neg 1, and that's not where you want to be as a control deck. As a control deck, you want each of your cards to be getting you like massive pluses when they come out. But yeah, but for this deck in particular, I have 3, just because this deck is more defensive in nature. Because I am running triple Dread Sea Queen. Dread Sea Queen is a brick because, well, it is and isn't a brick. Like obviously early game's a brick, and there's some classes they can't play it in. But I'll get and talk about that when I get to the card. Triple Fervor, staple. It just gets you heal. It draws you cards. It's just really nice for what it does. Double Israfil. I don't think I've ever actually talked about why I play Double Israfil in any of my videos, so I thought this would be a pretty good opportunity to talk about it. Israfil as a card is a very, very good card. However, it's, well, not even just Israfil, but as a whole, when you get to some of the late game options in decks, you'd be surprised how often how much worse a late game card is with or without an Evo. Like for example, with an Evo, with an Evo, Oro can usually be like a +3, +4, but without an Evo, an Oro is usually maybe like a +1, +2. Same thing with Israfil. With Israfil, they're not actually impacting the board unless you have an Evo. If you have an Evo, then you're in a really great spot. But if you don't have an Evo, then you're essentially reactively asking a question. Whereas with an Evo, you get to both ask a question and give an answer at the same time. To Polyphonic Roar, in previous videos, you might have noticed I was playing one Uriel. I stopped playing the Uriel. I stopped playing the Uriel for like two different reasons. Reason one, in a lot of my games, what would happen is I would go ahead and I would draw the Uriel and draw the Poly at the same time. As in like the Poly would already be in my hand, and then I would see the Uriel at a later date. And that'd make me sad because like I'm only playing the Uriel in order to see the Poly, but I want as many cards as possible to actually do something when I play them. So actually seeing having a 4 mana 3/3 that does nothing and requires an Evo to be actually kind of good is pretty bad when I could just play Rahab or play Tina or something like that, and that would actually do something. But yeah. So I'm just playing 2 Poly now to go ahead and guarantee that I see one. I'm also playing that because that's one of the core. That's actually the core win con of this deck. 3 Bahamut, because Bahamut is, well, he's that guy. Like, he's that world-ending dragon, and he's also a side win condition, just because like a lot of times, not everyone's going to be able to answer Bahamut all the time, and sometimes you just go Bahamut, then you go Grimnir, and then they die. Alright, and now on to Queen of the Dreadsea. Now, initially, this deck was supposed to be Queen of the Dreadsea with Ariet and Genesis Dragon. However, I did not actually get to do that, partially because I was tired, and because I actually, at the time, thought I actually had the Ariet and Genesis in here, because I was actually that tired, because playing for 12 hours non-stop will do that to you. But this is one take. This is one take on the deck, and I did say that I want to go ahead and talk about Queen of the Dreadsea at a later date, and just things you can do with her, because she's a really cool card, and I do actually like her a lot. But for this deck, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be going Queen of the Dreadsea to cheat out your Poly and then cheat out your Israfil. The reason why you're doing this is because, as I've mentioned numerous times, Poly is an alternative win con versus certain classes, like for example versus Haven. Polyphonic Roar solos the fuck out of Haven if you can get it into play early enough. Versus Shadow, solos Shadow, specifically solos stuff like Dark Alice and Mordecai. Again, if you can get it into play easily. Additionally, it also does very well versus Mid Shadow, but only if you can get it. But only if you can get it into play super easily without dying. However, as the metagame speeds up, and as decks get more and more like good mid game tools that can kind of make a 9 mana do nothing very, very scary. Well, you still need to have a way to put that into play, and that's what Queen of the Dreadsea allows you to do. For 10 mana, you get to play 28 worth of mana in one turn. This is nice because as Dragon, you're generally limited to making 1 or 2 actions per turn. But suddenly with Queen of the Dreadsea, if you're willing to throw away the rest of your hand, you can take 3 turns in 1 turn. So it's like a pseudo D ship by itself, which is honestly insane. What did I want to say? But for this deck in particular, let's go ahead and review what you get when you do Israfil plus Polyphonic Roar. So again, not only do you get the 28 mana, you also get 2 giant bodies, an ultimate win con, and then on top of that, if you have the Evo, you can heal for 4 with Israfil and go ahead and use her as a massive nuke to your opponent's board, while also simultaneously asking multiple questions at the same time. And those questions are: how do you deal with Israfil? How do you deal with Queen of the Dreadsea? What do you do about the fact that you no longer have a board? And what the fuck do you do about the Polyphonic Roar that have in play? Now, most times when you play Queen of the Dreadsea, is going to be used as a straight up OTK card. However, in this deck, it's being used as an FTK. An FTK stands for the kill. Just because like I don't think that there's a single deck that there's a single deck that does not play Bahamut that can easily answer all of that and actually still win the game. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, I'll be talking more about Queen of the Jet Sea at a later date, and in another video, just because I really like the card, and there are a lot of cool things that you can do with her. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think about the deck down in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys next time.